Hi Gemini and Gemini rising, welcome to your reading for Pluto's shift into Aquarius. So I've got some tarot cards here and an oracle card. I'm going to pull some cards for you shortly, but I just want to give you like a brief overview of the energies that we have been dealing with and will be dealing with. So as I said, these messages are for Gemini and Gemini rising. If you need to generate your own birth chart, there's a link in the description box. But we are going to get into it. So first of all, Pluto. Pluto was in Capricorn for the last 16 years. It's now officially in Aquarius for good for the next 20, well, not for good, but for the next 20 years. So it's a new era. Of course, we will probably be taking, or hopefully be taking, what we learned from the last 16 years into the next 20 years. So it's a transition. It's not just an overnight switch, although I'm sure many of you felt the shift. I felt it. When it happened, so the 19th was the official shift, which was Tuesday in the UK. I felt the shift. I can't explain what I felt or how I felt it, but I spoke to other people as well. I have a friend that phoned me on the morning and she wasn't aware of the dates of this happening. She said, something feels, she couldn't think of a word, and I said, off, and she was like, yeah, that's it. And then I spoke to my mum. I sent a message to my mum saying something feels off, and I'm not going to say what it is specifically because she's not that much into astrology and stuff, but she said, yes, something feels off, and then I told her what it was, and yeah, she could relate, and I'm sure many others of you can relate to the just feeling something and not quite putting it into words. But anyway, so Pluto, obviously a planet and an energy connected to transformation, change, power as well. Pluto basically, it strips everything back, it goes beneath the surface and it breaks everything down so that we can see and identify where change is needed, so that we can purge, we can regenerate and hopefully take our power back at the end of it. With Pluto being in Capricorn, which it was for the last 16 years, it would have shown us where there's misuse or abuse of power. That could have been in your personal life. It also showed up in the world and still is, unfortunately. But it would have shown us the shadow side of finance systems, with authority and authority figures, in government, with patriarchal systems, because Capricorn it's a father energy, isn't it? It's directly related to the father. Again, that could be in your personal life, could have happened in your personal life where there were changes, power struggles, and again, showing up in the world as well. With Pluto being in Capricorn, it would have basically showed us where transformation is needed, where there's inequity in terms of power and resources. So I think that is still ongoing, and Aquarius will move us out. Well, hopefully it'll move us out of that if we use the energy wisely. With it going into Aquarius, with Pluto going into Aquarius for the next 20 years, Aquarius is a progressive, liberating energy. So Aquarius energy would be focused on equality and freedom and liberation for everyone. It will show us where we're disempowered personally and collectively, and how we can get our power back, or where we need to get our power back. It pushes the boundaries of what we think is possible. So that's happening in technology. It can relate to higher consciousness as well, spirituality, and just where we're looking at the greater good for all. And I feel, also because Aquarius is connected to community and friendship, but I also feel that if it hasn't already started, we're going to be seeing the cracks in friendships and community as well. And identifying where change is needed there. So where we're not happy, or where friendships or communities that we thought were great, we're like, oh, actually, I'm kind of side-eyeing that and I'm not really happy with that. And you'll decide if it needs to change, if it can be repaired, or if you just want to let it go altogether. Right, so specifically for Gemini and Gemini rising. So when Pluto was in Capricorn, it was in your 8th house. So over the last 16 years, as you may know, the 8th house is connected to Scorpio energy, which is also connected to Pluto energy. So frankly, you may have been through an awakening, or another awakening, or a series of awakenings over that 16-year period. Intense for some of you, obviously, take it as it resonates. You may have done a lot of shadow work and deep diving. You may have felt that you've changed a lot, your whole life has changed, the people around you have changed. It's more so to do with you, but things around you could have changed as well. In terms of power, you may have had to take your power back, or at least identified where you needed to take your power back, or you may have even misused your power. Issues around intimacy may have come up too, things relating to intimacy with everyone from sexual partners, romantic partners, to friends, family, etc. Sex could come into it. Somebody may have discovered something about their sexuality or sexual identity, or you may have explored that. Stuff can come up with the occult, how you feel about it, what you think of it, things like that could have come up. And then there's a theme of other people's money in the 8th house as well. So that can be inheritance or shared resources. You know, like if you have a partner, you live with someone, it could be as simple as that. So all those sort of themes would have come up, and changes and power related issues would have come up over the last 16 years for you for that. With Aquarius now being, Pluto now being in Aquarius, it's in the 9th house for Gemini and Gemini rising. So changes, power related issues can occur around your spirituality. You may change your whole views on spirituality, or change religion or something, because religion can come into it. There's a connection to morals and beliefs, so your whole moral standing could change, or what you believe in could change in terms of morals. Things around higher learning, higher education and teaching can come up. You might go and off and do a PhD, or go to university, or just study anything, but higher learning. You may become a teacher of any kind, from a school to a university, to setting up your own course, to being a tutor for little kids. It is usually higher education though, so like college and above, kind of, or school and above, anything above school, outside of school. But teaching, I suppose, it could be anything. That could be school as well, tutoring little kids or something, or even a driving instructor. Travel can come up as well, travel related issues. Well, not issues, I don't say issues as in it's necessarily a problem, but you could travel more. And travel, to me, I feel like travel can be philosophy as well. Philosophy is something that comes up with the 9th house, but philosophy is like traveling in your mind, isn't it? Where you're exploring ideas, the intellect, knowledge, those sorts of things. Right, so I think I've said enough for you for the houses. I'm going to get into the cards now, and basically I just want to look at what you need to know going forward with Pluto now in Aquarius. So this is the Vampires deck. So what do we need to know for Gemini? Gemini sun, Gemini sun and rising. I nearly said sun, moon and rising, but this is specifically sun and rising. So for Gemini and Gemini rising, anything at all, you've got the same one that Libra just had, and it's a number 9 as well. As I said, Pluto's now in your 9th house, so you've got the creator energy card, catalyst, maker, mother, father. I would say that basically with Pluto coming out of your 8th house, whatever's happened to you, you've experienced, or whatever you've learned from it being in your 8th house, you're now using that to create your own, maybe life, a new life, but your new lifestyle, systems, belief systems. I don't even know how to put it, but it's just a creating of a completely new way, I would say, is one way of putting it. Let's see what else comes out here. This is the original Rider-Waite Tarot. Well, you've got the World. That's like a new, I did say, oh, maybe not a new life, but a new way, maybe a new way of life. And is this connected to Sagittarius? I don't think it is, but it does give me Sagittarius vibes, that exploring, because it's traveling. The World can connect to traveling. Well, okay, so you may really be doing a lot of traveling. Somebody might be moving to another country, because you've got the 8 of Wands as well. So the World and the 8 of Wands. So this is Mercury in Sagittarius, actually, this card, the 8 of Wands, I believe. Yeah, Mercury in Sagittarius. So it's connected to travel. It is connected to communication, information. There can be a connection to the internet, I'm told, sometimes. So you might be researching stuff. You might be researching things. But traveling comes up strongly with the World and the 8 of Wands. Again, whether it's traveling, literally traveling, or traveling in terms of exploring thoughts, ideas, philosophies, etc. But let's have another look here. It's moving forward. You might have felt that when you were in the 8th house energy, with Pluto being in your 8th house, it's like when you have an awakening. It's like a lot happens, but the shifts are all internal. So on the outside, it might not look like much, but internally, everything's changed. You've changed. And it might be now that, again, like I said, you're using that 8th house experience to move forward and create a new way of life for yourself, with the World and the 8 of Wands as well. somebody could be writing, become a writer here. One of the things, if you're creating, if we're talking in more literal terms of creating, like artistic, you could be literally writing a book or something. The world really makes me think of writing a lot of the time now and then. Obviously that can, Mercury, I mean Gemini, Mercury is your planet as well, isn't it? So, and then creator, you could be literally writing a book, you could be writing a film, a script for a film, like a screenplay or something, or creating a film, directing a film, something like that comes to mind. But it's like creating a new life or travel exploration of some sort. So that's what's going on for you. But it feels like things are going to move a lot more quickly now as well. And this is the kind of energy you want the world. If you have been through awakening and deep diving and shadow work, you want the world. You want to know that you can that you've graduated, that you're done with that, you've learned everything you needed to learn, and you can move forward. So if it felt stagnant at some point over the last 16 years, things are speeding up for you now by the looks of it, and progressing and moving forward, and nothing is holding you back now. So that is it. I think I'll leave that there. So again, if you need to, you can go to the description box to generate your own birth chart. There's a link there for that, links for personal readings, and links for the daily written tarot and oracle readings as well. But I'll leave it there. I'll be back for the December in-depth monthly readings very soon, and until I see you again, take care.